Welcome to Storytime with Cerise, Express Edition.
Preview.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm super excited to be back with you this week with another Storytime Express Vacation Edition. Just breathe with me. That's what it is. That's what vacation should be. All right, guys. Well, listen, I just got back from vacation. Was it last month? Wow. I don't know. I'm still there. I'm still there mentally, right? Like I just can hear the waves of the beach and I'm just still there. And that is what vacation should be. Like, I know all vacations, like, you know how they say you need a vacation from your vacation because you just went out there and just did it all and you are so tired. I think some of it is like a mental reality check because that happens too when you come back from vacation. You're just like, like, you know, you just have to go back to work, go back to normal scheduling as usual. And for us, we left Persha home. I wanted to take her. I'm that mom. I know. I was like, I kept telling you, I'm like, we could take her. We could take her. She's still that age where you don't have to get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we could take her. There's daycare. You know, he's like, babe. But you know, it's the same feeling. You see that meme out there that's just like, you're like crying on the plane, but then you're having a blast on vacation. That's me. I get very, very sad to leave my ace boom coon. That's my right hand, my left hand, my back, my front. You know how it is, right? So, but once I got there, I was like, oh, like, you know, I can do whatever I want to do. And that definitely is mentally relieving. But anyways, that's not all I'm here for. I want to talk about vacation. I know the weather is finally breaking. I know it's going to be weird weather. It's going to be cold one day and 75 degrees another day. That's literally what's happening over here in Ohio. But I am definitely embracing the 70-degree weather like we're having today. Got my daughter a new little bike. And so we're experimenting. We're practicing. Okay, because she was riding the little plastic ones for a few years. But those things just started breaking down. So we had to get her a real actual bike. And she's a little, you know, she's like, I don't know. I don't like this feeling. So we're practicing. But the nice weather is here. The nice weather is here. So a lot of people will be going on vacation. And it's so ironic. People that know me know that me and my husband, Daniel, our favorite top vacation is cruising. We cruise every year, twice if we can. We definitely cruise every year. And it was so funny, like as we were getting closer to our sail away date, I kept seeing posts like, man, I've been thinking about cruising, but I don't know. I ain't trying to be out on nobody's water. Like, you know, I was seeing a lot of like, what should I do? I've done all-inclusive resorts. I've gone here, I've gone there. I've been thinking about cruising and I was just like, oh, say less. I can't even just comment on the post. I have to do an entire story time with Cerise. So I'm going to tell you a story of our recent cruise and why you should cruise. I have 5 reasons why you should cruise and 5 tips once you decide to cruise, okay? There are some major lessons we learned. I think we've been cruising together since 2013, almost 10 years. I think we've gone on 9 cruises, maybe 8, but I'm gonna push it to 9 because it sounds, you know, it's giving expert level. We've been on about 8 to 9 cruises and I've been on 10 because my first cruise was without him. I'll never do that again. I'm just kidding, but I'm just saying. It was because like when I was doing everything, I was like, oh my gosh, Daniel would love this. Oh my gosh, me and Daniel could do this. I couldn't stop thinking about like what I wanted to do with him. And I'm gonna get to that. Like who you cruise with is so important. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm getting excited because now I wanna book a cruise just talking about it. If you're thinking about cruising, absolutely. And here's 5 main reasons why you should. Number one, let me tell you something. Vacation is about shutting it down. Shutting down the daily routine, the pressure, the pull that life has to offer. It is about shutting down the world. And when you step over that threshold, in order to get onto a cruise, for those of you that don't know, you go into the port, there's a huge building, and you eventually go through this like walk through that takes you all the way up, right? And it's like you finally step over onto your ship. That is one of my favorite. The saddest part is coming off the wall. But going on to that walkway, because you have to like kind of walk in a zigzag because it goes up. We love that part. We love that part because we can feel it's just something about stepping onto the ship. And I have to keep saying P with a strong pronunciation because I don't know. You know, it's just something about stepping onto that ship that it just feels like it's just us, baby. It's just us. And we are shutting down from the world. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing to get on a plane and you land and you're like, we're here. We're in the DR. We're in Hawaii. We're in Cancun. And you step into the resort and it's immediate Wi-Fi and you're just still very connected. And don't get me wrong, we've done that too. We've gone to the all-inclusive resorts. We've been to Cancun, DR, Jamaica, and I know we still want to do Hawaii. We've done Aruba and we love them. Trust me, we love them. But I'm telling you, stepping across that threshold, it's a feeling where I'm just like, wow, this is it. And the reason why I say that is because some of you can get an internet package. Absolutely. And our package, we're like gold members now because we've cruised for 9 times, right? So we get a free, like 150 minutes each. So that's enough if you ask me. That's more than enough. First of all, I shouldn't even get it because I get it and I'm done with it like by day 3, 4. Because that's the problem with us. We don't know how to shut down and disconnect. Now, let me be clear, all right? I have a whole child that I love and adore. And so I be checking on her, right? It's not even checking on her. When she's with my mom, I don't have to worry and nothing, but I want to make sure she knows mommy is here, baby. Mommy is here. And how are you? How was school? Let us pray. What you eat today? I love to see her face every day. I personally maybe I'm just not there yet, but I just couldn't imagine going 7 days and not hearing my baby's voice, seeing my baby's face. I'm not saying that won't ever happen, but right now, if I have anything to do with it, I need to know my baby. I need to see her face every day. So that's what I use those 150 minutes for, to check FaceTime. And then obviously, as soon as you turn that internet, as soon as you log in, all the text messages pop up, all the, notifications from social media. And it's just kind of like, you feel this just like, now me, I'm the type of person that I don't like leaving any type of number notifications on my phone. That's me. I get crazy when I see people that have 256 messages. What are you doing? When people have unread emails, that's the problem with the working culture today, but that's another story time. People don't read their emails. People don't open up text messages. People still got, I'm like, how? I think that is I'm not judging. I just cannot. So as soon as I see those numbers, boop, 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 there I go, check in. And then I'm like, oh, let me get off because I only have 100 minutes left and I have 6 more days. And I like to be able to make sure I can call home to speak to my child. So anyways, back to number 1, reason why you should cruise is because it is an absolute shutdown from the world. Don't get the internet package. Why? Unless you absolutely have to check in back home, shut it down. It's a magical threshold. It's like, goodbye world. That's what I love about it. This boat is about to take me. See, it's different than walking onto a regular resort. I am being taken into the middle of the ocean, and it's almost it takes an hour when we start to depart. When we sail away, an hour, your phone is like, bang, can't find anything, and you're just like, well. And me and Daniel will be like, oh my gosh, it's not working anymore. It's not working. We're free, baby. Nobody can reach us. No one can call us. No one can text us. We have control. We have to log in to the free internet package and we only have a limited amount of minutes. Love it. But yeah, and so that's why I said earlier, it's so important who you cruise with, because it's just you and them, baby. Whether it's a 4-day cruise, 5-day cruise, 7, we love the 7. We eventually want to do one of the like 11-day cruises. Ooh, I know, right? But it's important who you cruise with, because that's it. You can't go nowhere. It's you, them, and that boat. And so you better make sure you're cruising with people that are not gonna drive you crazy, to be honest. That's why for me, it's my husband for me. And it's not just because he doesn't drive me crazy, because he does. I drive him crazy too. You know what I'm saying? But it's more so like, for me, it's very like, you know, bring your boo. You know what I'm saying? Because it's intimate. It's a wonderful bonding experience. Or my mother is another person I love to travel with. If you're trying to do a mother-daughter trip, or if you've got a real down best friend, like, it's just a wonderful bonding. It's a bonding experience. So, and even if you're going by yourself, it is a bond, because even like there's times where he'll do something and I'll do something, very rarely, especially if it's just me napping, okay? Because Daniel don't like to take naps, but he sure doesn't nap on a cruise. He can't keep up. I'm like, exactly. But I will bond with myself, for lack of a better term. I take that, there was times where I literally just stood on the balcony and just stared out into that ocean. And I can feel the very peace of God just rest, just a reminder of his goodness and his faithfulness, to see the beautiful ocean, and to see the views, which comes to my second reason why you should cruise. Views, and more views. What do you mean? You go to the restaurants and the hotels and the anything to literally say, can we get a view by the water? Can we sit at the window? Right? You don't got to worry about that on the boat. There are literally views in the arcade. You could be playing air hockey and look out the window and see views. You are surrounded by the most breathtaking views. From sunrise to sunset, it's not your ordinary sunrise and sunset view. I'm telling you, it looks fake. I posted a picture of me and Daniel with the sunset behind us. It looked like a total green screen. Like, y'all ain't go on no cruise. Stop it. Yes, we did. It is real. And I'm telling you, the views are not like when you view a sunset and a sunrise from land. I'm telling you, it hits different. And when you, every single restaurant, every single venue in there that has windows, you will have the most beautiful view from the gym. I was on the treadmill and I was like, I could do this. I'll walk on the treadmill. Okay, because I'm just looking at views. All right, so views, and more views. So we talk about number one, it's a real shutdown from the world. If you are looking for, and I'm talking about a real vacation, because like I said, you go on vacations and come home and you feel more tired. And a lot of it is that mental kind of like, you know, you're being forced back into reality, and it is mentally draining. But there's also like, you don't want to feel like overexhausted. If you want to take a real vacation, that means you shut down from the world and your daily responsibilities, and you go with this person and you go with this person and y'all live your best life. Number two, once you get on there are views everywhere. Views that allow you to just take in God's beauty, meditate, and literally everything that you do is a step up because it's surrounded by views. So I'm just sitting here trying to order some wings and look at that sunset. What? Can I have some extra blue cheese? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just amazing for no reason. Number three, I can't stress this enough. Yes, all-inclusive resorts, some are better than others. It's literally that. It's an all-inclusive resort on the water. But cruises have everything you need. No lie. Like, it's like more than what you need, okay? I had to literally write down what we have. First of all, there's a movie night. There's over 20 different bars, late night grills, arcade, daycare, which is why you can bring your kids. Because yes, when we went, we took Persha on her first cruise last year, and you know that girl was in daycare every night. There's different times of days, so we put her in at like, I think it was like like 7 to midnight. So she would fall asleep. So then we could have our little nightlife. Cause I ain't no nightlife person. Child, once I start seeing it get a little dark, I ain't doing nothing. I'm locking the house down. I'm putting the alarm on. Daniel can't stand it. I will put that alarm on at 7 p.m. What are we doing? It's getting dark. You know what I'm saying? But on the cruise, I'm outside. On the cruise, I'm like, what's up? We out here until I can't anymore. At least I try to be outside, right? Because I feel like I'm still inside. I don't gotta drive nowhere, but I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so everything you need is on the cruise. 20 different theme bars, late night grills, arcade, daycare, pools, jacuzzi. The spa is everything. Y'all saw me post the spa. There's a gym, there's a plethora of activities. And when I say activities, it's like things that they set up, like in-person activities, like bingo, couples games, trivia, Wheel of Fortune, which is so much fun when you're doing it in person. There's dance parties, there's night parties, there's day parties. There was a silent disco. There's karaoke, there's live bands, there's DJs all day, every day. Tastings, cooking classes. We did a wine tasting. And when you get to the ports, again, for those of you that are like, oh, I don't like to be in the water. I mean, the cruise is broken up. You're on land, like almost, depending on what you do, you could be on land every day. Or you could be on land every other day. It's a day at sea and then a day at your island, a day at sea and then a day at your island. So you're never feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck on this ship. I just really can have to emphasize the P, right? Because all I need is someone to just scroll and hear me say, you just stuck on this ship. But anyways, then I'm like, oh my gosh, she really crossed over there, huh? So anyways, so when you get to the ports, there's excursions, there's tours, there's everything. And no, this is not a paid sponsorship. I am a cruise lover. We have done 2, and our favorite so far is Norwegian. Because it's just so family friendly. Everyone has their different preferences on cruise lines, and I'm just gonna leave it right there, right? Also, Royal Caribbean with their newer ships is something that we're excited about. We just did Royal Caribbean last year, and then we went right back to our Norwegian. Is just like, it's so familiar for us. So that's what that's what we've been choosing. But we are gonna explore other cruise lines. But yeah, so then you got your beaches when you get to the island, your tours, excursions, different cultures, different foods, everything, okay? And like I said, everything you need is on the ship. Like even when it comes to food and drinks, variety, whether it's vegan, keto, gluten-free, pescatarian, or you just want to be fun and fat, okay? Everything you need is on that cruise. I was even eating a little differently on the cruise. I was a little nervous, but I forgot. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can find anything. You just want a big salad. You want a soup, because you just don't want to, because I was like, Daniel, I can't go on this cruise and just do fun and fat every day. I cannot. Because like literally, you will literally just roll around after a while. And I've been there, right? You just stuff your face every like 4 hours. And by day 2, you're just literally like that Willy Wonka movie when she blew up into a big blueberry. That was me. Anyways, but not this last one. I was very good and I really enjoyed myself, right? So that is number 3. So number 1, why you should cruise, because it's a true shutdown from the world. Number 2, why you should cruise, views, and more views. And number 3, why you should cruise, everything you need is on the ship. Number 4, you get to explore the ends of the earth faster, right? Because when you're just going to one place, that's it. You're in Cancun and that's it. What I love about the cruises is I need to create a list. We must have been, from the day we started cruising to now, maybe 30 different places. Little islands, big islands, just places that we would not have been able to explore that amount of places in just, it's only been like 10, 11 years of cruising. 30? Are you kidding me? It's crazy. And what we have done is we get like a little shot glass, because it's like the cheapest thing there, or a little magnet from each place, so that we save all the places that we've been. And some places have been a little repeat depending on like the cruise, but it's like, and you have to be very, smart, because you're like, wow, that can be exhausting. No, all you have to do is book the right tour or excursion. You get off the boat, you do it first thing in the morning, you explore, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Many times you end at a beach, you get to taste a little something, look at that culture, and get right back on the ship. You don't have to like go crazy, like, oh my gosh, I'm here, I gotta take it in. It's almost like it's almost like an island tasting, right? Like you get to go to different islands, taste it, sample it, and if it's something that you fall in love with, then maybe you actually make a dedicated trip there in the future. But right now we're just tasting it. We're just tasting it, and we can say we've physically been there on the map. On the map, we are on the map. So that's what I love about cruising. Like people will be like, where'd you guys go? I'll be like, oh, we went to all the Virgin Islands, DR, and the Bahamas. They'd be like, what? Just real, wow, in 7 days? I'm like, yes. We made 5 stops and we were at all those places. So that's what I love about it. You can literally visit up to like 5 to 6 islands on one cruise. Some of them probably get crazier. Like I said, you just choose the right thing to do at each stop. Sometimes you could just stay right up in the port. You don't necessarily have to go in and, you may not want to like do all that. You can, some of them like really have nice ports where they've got beaches and pool bars and pools right there when you get off the ship and you go a little deeper in, right? So that's number 4. You can explore the ends of the earth so much faster. And it's not that you're like in a rush. It's just wonderful to be able to explore so much in a smaller amount of time, because there's just, who has ever, I'm sure there's some documentary on someone who's literally been everywhere in the entire world, but it's very hard. People are most likely not going to see many places, right? Time is ticking. And then number 5, reason why you should cruise is you meet people literally from everywhere, right? And I know that's very similar. Like if you go to a regular resort, all-inclusive resort, people are there from everywhere. But I don't know what it is about cruises. It's like New York. Like it's a huge variety of people. And because you're like on a boat, you do start to pass by like the same people and notice the same people, and you like kind of connect to some people. So I feel like more than an all-inclusive resort, you almost become like this little family, because you guys are like, look, we're having mad fun, but we're in this together, right? Wear the life jacket. You know what I'm saying? It's like this unspoken, like, all right, I got you, you got me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you get into deeper conversation. I don't find myself at all-inclusive resorts really meeting people. People literally have lifetime friends from people that they have met at cruises. Now, also, I'm not the biggest like engager. Daniel is, so I'll sit in a jacuzzi and honey, people are ready. They'll be like, so where you from? I'm like, and many times I'm a little annoyed because I am just trying to relax. But I do notice that on cruises, people are more like they want to get to know you. But once you get into the conversation and just have another orange juice, you are really into it. I mean, the stories are crazy, and Daniel kind of carries it, and I'm just sitting there sipping my orange juice and taking in the scenery. But you literally can make lifelong friends. I still have people that I have met on cruises maybe 5-6 years ago that we still follow each other on Facebook and comment under each other's posts, okay? So those are all the incredible reasons why you should cruise. I'm telling you, check it out. Don't hold yourself back for this. But here's 5 tips I got for you. And I'm not gonna drag it. I'm just gonna get straight into it, right? When you decide to go on a cruise, number 1, this is what I feel like I just got this revelation. And this is kind of piggybacking off of me saying that you meet people from around the world. Well, my number 1 tip is vacation friends. You gotta just be discerning, and you gotta be able to just like walk away. Cause child, some people will be, they have one too many drinks and they just will talk your ear off. And sometimes it can be a vibe killer depending on, or sometimes you're just like, I didn't come here for this at this moment. Sometimes I'm like challenging myself because I'm like, Lord, let me be a light and a minister, but I really don't feel like talking to this person right now. But even on a deeper level, you just gotta, like, again, you're shutting down from the world. You're shutting down from scheduling and plans, and you're with the right person. And so when you meet vacation friends, like maybe a few times this has happened where friends have met us and we're talking, let's say we're in the jacuzzi. They're like, yeah, oh my gosh, right? Exactly. Da 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 da. Oh yeah. Da 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 da. All right, well, we're gonna head up and get over. Well, girl, where are we going next? That is that, so, and then like, what's your room number? Like, child, this was a great conversation, but we are not going anywhere next. So and again, that is not a judgment to anyone. That's just how me and Daniel roll. We are not necessarily trying to make friends to a level where we are now syncing our schedules. And once you have somebody's room number, just like a hotel, you can call them from, oh, chap, I wish somebody would knock on my door. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it has happened where it's like, okay, we mad cool, so we finna do things together. No. We didn't come on this vacation together, so we don't have to link up. I don't want to do dinner. And it's so funny. Me and Daniel were at dinner, and we were next to a table. It was two couples, and so we could hear what they were saying. People watch, people listen. We do it all the time. Like, he's always just like, what's their situation? You know what I'm saying? But as we listened to the conversation, one of the women within the four of them was very quiet. And as we continued to listen, we were like, they don't know each other. They met somewhere earlier on the cruise, and you could tell the guy who was very outgoing probably was like, let's go to dinner later. Now you're stuck at dinner trying to make conversation with, and again, that's not always a bad thing. It's just that be very strategic with vacation friends. Some of them will get very clingy. And I know with me, if you're anything like me and people just kind of gravitate to you and they want to talk to you and then you give them all of it, that's what my problem is. I'll be like, I know, girl. Yes, I know. You give them all of this so they think, oh, she is down. That is honestly one of my biggest misconceptions towards people and challenges building genuine relationships, because my first impression is not necessarily my long-lasting personality. Does that make sense? And people get really let down because when I'm out, oh my gosh, I can be the light. If I'm there, if I made it there, I can be the life of the party. I can be loud. I can be funny, but after that, you see me the next day at 2 p.m. and you're like, hey girl, and I'm like, hey, so good to see you. Like, where y'all headed to? Like, oh, I'm out of that. I'm out of it. And they're like, oh, I thought that she was gonna wanna come with us. She was a little different, right? Yeah, I was a little different. So anyways, I know I definitely struggle with vacation friends. Everyone's wonderful, everyone's sweet, but I don't want to continue the vacation with you every single day, right? So that's just tip number one. Know your personality, because you do not want to get stuck like the lady I saw where she was not even speaking because she probably didn't want to be there. She probably was like, I just want to be at dinner with my husband. And now here we are at dinner with this couple that won't stop talking and asking me questions. Anyways. It was fun in the jacuzzi, but you thought the next day, Okay, number two, pace yourself. Pacing yourself is key. Now, I mentioned this earlier. There are tons of things to do on a cruise. And that's where I went wrong when we started cruising in the beginning. I was like, they give you like this paper. It says like day one. There's literally like 70 things. I mean, every hour, there's literally so many things. It's almost like every hour, there's like 5 things to do within the same hour. Do you understand that? Starting at 7 a.m., ending at 1 a.m. the next day. Child, I found myself in those first, to the point where I'm not gonna lie, mid-cruising, in our journey of the last 10 years of cruising, there was a point in time where I told Daniel, I'm not sure if I'm into the cruising anymore. He's like, what? I'm like, it's just that I feel like I go. And this was all my fault because I didn't communicate to him. Daniel was a little bit more outgoing than me. And so there was a point in time where I think I was just trying to impress my husband. That's why I say it's very important who you go with on the cruise, because if you got someone that wants to hit up everything, you're not gonna enjoy it because you're gonna be exhausted. You're like, I wanted to rest. I'm like, so he was just like, babe, I don't care. You should have just told me. We don't have to do all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I just wanted to be cool. But I can't make it to those 11 p.m. parties. He's like, child, so because we talked about it, I felt like our next cruise was perfect. We must have had maybe 2 late nights out of those 7 days. The other nights, we would like go in the room at 7, maybe order room service. We would fall asleep by accident at like 9, maybe wake up at midnight and be like, you want to walk around? Because that ship never turns off. I can't say that word. That ship, that boat never turns off. Like there is something literally happening all the time. So it's like you could wake up at 1 a.m. and just be like, you want to go try this? You want to go, you know what I'm saying? So that's so fun because you still want to do things outside of the norm. Also, you don't have to wake up for anybody the next morning. That's key. Now, if you do bring your child, we were still up early. But the benefit of being up early is just getting out, getting breakfast, you know what I'm saying? And just getting the day started, take you a nap. So that was number 1, watch your vacation, friends. Number 2, pace yourself. You want to make sure you make time to just sit, nap, rest. Do not try to do it all. Make sure you're going with someone that you are compatible with, that you can communicate with, and that you're comfortable to be like, I don't really want to do that, or I'm tired. I think it was day 2. We knocked out at like 8 p.m. We were because it's an adjustment. You get there day 1, you're so excited, you're full of adrenaline, you're hitting up this place, you're hitting up that, you're staying up late, and then we're like, you don't even do this. So you wind up sleeping in you wind up going to bed early the next day. So pace yourself. Planning is key because there are so many unique things and opportunities on the cruise that you want to be able to do. And so you gotta just prioritize what you think is best. Like maybe 4 things out of that day that you'd like to hit and get ahead of, and just maybe 5 things that it's a hit or miss. Every day, that was the fun part. We would sit on our bed and create a note and be like, let's do this. Actually, in the app, they allow you to kind of heart your favorite things of the day, and then you can just see it all in order with the times and everything. So planning is key in order for you to pace yourself. My 3rd tip is get the deals. Get the deals. A lot of these cruises offer deals, beginning with what kind of room you stay in, the onboard credit, the unlimited drink package, the 2 free specialty dining. Now, when I say specialty dining, yes, the cruise has all you can eat, it's free, but there are some upgrades. Like we went to a steakhouse and a barbecue restaurant. So there's certain restaurants on the ship that actually come at an extra price. So if you get a deal, you can get like 2 specialty packages, and that's what we got. We got 2 specialty dining packages. So we got to go to we always go to the steakhouse. But because we're gold members, we always get offered, and we look to get all the deals. And we had onboard credit. Onboard credit is like you can use it towards an excursion. An excursion is many times as low as like $45, maybe $65 a person. So if you've got like $150 of onboard credit, you want to use that. That's definitely huge, and that could be towards an excursion. So there's so many things, there's so many deals, especially when you don't book directly through the site. Like I think we use Cruise 411, and they offer so many good deals, like especially like the unlimited drinking package, and deals on what type of room you get, which leads me to tip number 4. If you can, now like any vacation, you want to save up, but just know what you're saving for, because I suggest get the balcony. I know they have different tiers of rooms. They have the inside room that has no windows. They have the porthole room, I think maybe a window room, and then they have the balcony, and then of course they got the 1 bedroom, and then they have the VIP. Get the balcony. It is so worth it, especially if you're a little nervous about being on a boat. You would be like, well, if I'm nervous about being on a boat, why would I on the balcony? Because you don't want an inside room. That's like claustrophobic. It's almost like you feel yourself being on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Because you do feel a little rocky sometimes. But I'm like, rock me, baby. Rock me right to sleep. No, seriously, being on the cruise is the best sleep I ever have, because it's like this slow rock. All right, it can freak some people out, but it's wonderful. You just gotta embrace it. If you don't miss the opportunity because of that. If you get seasick, or you don't have sea legs, you can take Dramamine. Some people come on there, and I've seen them. They have the patches, where you wear the patch, and you don't get nauseous, you don't get dizzy, you don't get lightheaded. So speak to your PCP and find out things you can do to allow yourself to have a very comfortable cruise. Also, just YouTube it. There's so many suggestions out there. Get the balcony. There is nothing like having fresh air come into your room. There's nothing like falling asleep to the sounds of the waves. There's nothing like waking up to the sounds of the waves. There's nothing like having breakfast on your balcony in the middle of the ocean on sunrise or sunset. There's just nothing like having that private, quiet access. Because of course, when you go out into the, boat and everything like that, you can go anywhere and see the water, but in your own room, naked, ain't nothing like watching something naked. Okay, say what you want. Y'all don't want to act like y'all don't be naked around the house, or when you do something naked, it's so much better. It's free. This is what we were meant to be, Adam and Eve. We weren't meant to wear these leaves. You know what I'm saying? So it's a wonderful experience to have that balcony. My last tip of cruising is don't overthink the water thing. So I kind of said this already. Some people are just like, I don't want to be, that sounds so unsafe. There are thousands of cruises happening every day. Maybe I'm dragging it, maybe hundreds. But when do you often hear of, a Titanic experience, right? Like, no. And they're so advanced with being prepared for, God forbid, anything was to happen to the boat. They go hard in the beginning. Before you could even start your day on the cruise, there is a huge security lesson. They show you where to go. They show you what to do. They make you go to that location. Then they do a test drill. Then they test again. So there's so many different things. So that is what I'm saying when I say don't overthink your sea legs, or like I said, there's Dramamine, there's the patches, there's so much safety in it. So yeah, just stay the course. Don't allow it to have you miss out on an experience. And you got this. So that's it. I've got my five reasons why you should cruise. It feels like a true shutdown from the world. There's views. Everything you need is on the ship. You can explore the ends of the earth faster, and you meet some really cool people from everywhere. 5 tips I have: watch out for vacation friends, pace yourself, get the deals, get the balcony, and don't overthink the whole being on the water thing. All right. So that's it from me, guys. We had a blast. We can't wait to book. It's like when I'm on the cruise, and of course they have an option where you can do that. I was ready to book the next one. I'm always ready to book the next one because it's such a surreal feeling. But what I will say is I love the wait, because by the time you get back on the cruise again, it's like, oh, this feeling I've been, I love it. And there's different types of vacations. Me and my husband love to take small ones, road trips, whatever. And I just call them vacations because it's just a getaway. Even if you're still working, like even just getting out your atmosphere, getting out your house, it's just a vacation. A vacation is something where you get mental rest from something that you're so used to. So it doesn't have to be as extreme as a cruise. I just threw that in there, all right? Make sure y'all take a vacation, even if it's just on a Saturday in a different place. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in with Storytime with Cerise, Express Edition. I will see you guys next week with another episode. Bye.